Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a product from Royal Kludge. This is the RK96 limited edition tri-mode RGB mechanical keyboard. Now this is a hot swappable keyboard, so you can change out the switches with either 3-pin or 5-pin of whatever switch you would like. It comes with yellow linear switches, which are really nice to type on. Over 20 different RGB modes, and you can connect this either wired via your USB, Bluetooth, or a 2.4 gigahertz dongle. We're going to take a look at it now, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is everything you get once you get it out of the box. You're going to get, obviously, the main keyboard itself, your palm rest. We're going to start with the user manual here. It's written in English, and it's well laid out. It's going to show you wired mode and how to power it on and off. There are 2 switches on the back. You also have an option when it's wired to use a USB hub that's built into it that gives you 2 full-size USB Type A ports as well to attach other things like headphones or a wired mouse or whatever you would like. You can check the battery reminder on this when you're using it in a Bluetooth connection. And there's a switch on the back that has a B and a G. G for a 2.4 gigahertz wireless and B for Bluetooth. Now it will support up to 3 different Bluetooth devices, and you do have of all your backlit controls in here as well for all of your lighting modes. So hold on to that just in case you may need it. Now it comes with a USB cable here for charging the unit. It does have a 3750 milliamp battery in it that with all the RGB off in Bluetooth mode, you should get about 200 hours before you're going to have to recharge this. And with RGB on, you're going to get over 30 hours, so you can hook that up to recharge the battery. Now, it's going to take a few hours to recharge the battery, but you will have to do it every once in a while. They do give you a key and cap puller here, or switch and cap puller, because you can pull these switches if you want to. And again, you can make them your own with other switches. Now, they come with Royal Kludge yellow linear switches. These are 3-pin switches. Again, if you want to put 5-pin switches in, it will accommodate those as well if you don't like the feel of the yellow. Now you do get a palm rest here. It's magnetically attached, as you can see, to the front. And it will stay in place and do its thing. I like that it's magnetically attached. It's a really nice feature to have, and it's good for your wrists when you're typing for longer periods of time. Taking a look at the keyboard itself, it's a 96 key keyboard, so a 90% keyboard. You're going to get a full number pad on the right hand side. You also get a dedicated mute button and a scroll wheel for your volume here in the upper right. It's got some really nice layouts here for this. You can use this for a Windows layout and a Mac layout as well, and you just have a simple key combination to switch those over. Now on the back, the USB Type-C for your wired connection will allow you to have access to 2 full USB ports that will allow you to hook up other devices like a USB flash drive or a wired mouse or anything like that. Now on the back, you've got a little spot here for your 2.4 gigahertz dongle, and this will plug directly into a USB port on your PC or your laptop, your Mac, whatever you're going to be using, and you just have to make sure that your switch over on the right hand side there, it says B for Bluetooth and G for wireless. Just make sure it's in the right position, and you have a dedicated on and off switch there as well. Now you have 3 levels here that you can use with these levelers. You can just leave it flat. You've got a smaller one, and then you've got that higher one to get the right angle that's comfortable for you to type on. So they do give you some options here for that as well. So they've thought of a lot of different things here for the RK96, which I really do like. Okay, so again, these come with the yellow switches, which you just heard. So that was my little test there to give you an idea of how they sound stock out of the box. Of course, they do give you some extra ones, as I showed you in the unboxing here. And these are 3-pin switches that you can switch out for any switches that you would like from any maker. So 3 or 5-pin switches will work in this keyboard, and you can pull them and make it your own if yellow is not your feel of keyboard. The deck does good, and they sound good, and they feel really tactile and smooth. Now let's take a look at some of the RGB modes that you can get here, and there are over 20 of them. Using the function key, you'll be able to cycle through these, and you can see that this is your basic rainbow pattern here, and as I go through some of these, you'll be able to get an idea of just how many there are. We can also modify these with the arrow keys as well. So if I find one that I want to either speed up or slow down or change the brightness on, I can use the function and arrow keys. Left will slow down the animation and right will speed up the animation. And then of course, if I want to adjust the brightness, I can use the up and down arrow keys to adjust the brightness. So function down will lower it all the way to off, and function up will raise the brightness level in 5 stages from 1 to 5. So we've got a bunch of different modes here that I'm looking through, and I'm going to let you see the rest of them so that you can check them out for yourself. Now say I find a pattern that I really like, I can use function delete, which is right next to the print screen key, to change it to a singular color. So I can cycle through all of these colors of blue, green, gold, you've got purple, you've got red, you've got white, and of course back to rainbow as well. So if you do find a pattern that you really like but you want it in a singular color, you can control that with the function end key as well. Okay, so now there are 3 ways to connect this keyboard. Again, you can connect the dongle on the back to your PC or laptop. If you do want to use the software that comes with it, you're going to have to use this in wired mode via USB Type-C. And if you want to use the USB Type-A ports as a pass-through, you will have to be in wired mode. Now the switch on the right here is for your 2 wireless modes. One is labeled B for Bluetooth, and one is labeled G for your wireless dongle. So that's the switch that you're going to have to use to switch back and forth. Now if I switch over into Bluetooth here, you'll notice that I have a 1, 2, and 3 because I can have 3 different Bluetooth devices connected. And I'll use a function Q, which is 1, and if we hold that down, it will start blinking, meaning it is now in pairing mode. You can also do function W or function E for device 2 or 3. So I'm going to attach it to my phone right now. It's going to come up as the RK96 RGB 3.0 in my Bluetooth settings on my Samsung S23 Ultra here, and this is just kind of a quick way of showing you the pairing. And now we are paired and ready to go. So we are set up here and ready to go. And you'll notice when I use the arrow keys now, I have full control as far as this goes to be able to control and use the keyboard right on my Android phone. This will work for a tablet as well. Obviously, your PC, laptop, whatever you're going to be using. And of course, this works no problems whatsoever. You can see that there's really no latency with the Bluetooth, and works just fine on a Bluetooth connection. Okay, so the last thing we're going to talk about is the Royal Kludge software here, and you can see that we have this wired into my PC, and that's how you'll have to be to use the software. You can't use the software under Bluetooth mode or under the 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode. So you will have to be wired in to use the software, but the software allows you to do a lot of very interesting things like per key assignments here. I can assign any of these modifier keys, characters, numbers to an existing key. I have a full macro suite here where I can go in and I can import, export, create macros here, add my delays, add everything that I need to, record them, and then of course save them. So I have that, and I can do that under each profile as well as the lighting that we showed. All of the lighting modes are listed here, including a music mode at the bottom that reacts to music. You can adjust all the light brightness here from 0, which would be off, all the way from 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and your animation speeds as well, from slow to fast, on a scale of 1 to 5 as well. Now you do have a sleep time in here that you can set where your LED will turn off, and it can go from anywhere from 30 minutes down to 5 minutes, and that's going to be to kind of save battery life when you're using this on battery. So when you do save this and then connect via a wireless mode, you will be able to do that. Now you can do color mixing or a solid color for each one of these as well. Color mixing is going to be that rainbow, but if you want to set it to a static color, you can as well. Now we can also further customize the keyboard as well by selecting either all here, numbers, or your WA and SD keys as well. So if I select numbers, I can make them a different color. I can select the whole entire keyboard and make that a different color, or the WASD keys and make that a different color. And I can really kind of customize this. If I want to make the whole thing green and then I want to make just an animation on the WASD keys, I can, or a different solid color, I can, and the same thing for the number keys as well. So you can see how much customization you can really get with the software that Royal Kludge has provided. Now the last thing that we have on here is going to be in settings, and I want to show you this for just a few reasons in case you have a bunch of different things here and you want to clear them out. You can reset all of your keyboard data. You can do that if you need to reset everything, or factory reset it as well. You can also check for software updates for the Royal Kludge software and firmware updates if they are available for your keyboard. So overall, just an excellent suite of software from Royal Kludge. Okay, so that's my review of the Royal Kludge RK96 Limited Edition. Now this comes in two different colors. You can either get a forest blue or you can get a green, and I have the green color here that I did for the review. And there's a lot of really good things to say about the RK96 Limited Edition. It's a full-size keyboard in a smaller package, so you're going to be saving a desktop space, which for me is really important. I don't know if that's important to you or not. That depends on your setup. Lots of good RGB modes with a solid companion software to really customize this the way you want it to. Nice yellow switches that come pre-lubed from the factory. They sound really good and have a very nice tactile feedback to them. You get 3 modes of connection with either 2.4 gigahertz wireless, Bluetooth, or wired, and when you're using wired you have access to 2 extra USB ports that can come in handy as well. You get a really decent amount of battery life on this as well, up to 200 hours with the RGB off and over 30 hours with the RGB on. Overall, I'm definitely going to give this a thumbs up. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. I hope you enjoyed my review, and I'll check you guys out on the next one.